Let's go ahead and start the countdown. How's it going, everybody? We are back with more tournament action here. We've got Alex versus Classic here, starting off with Chimera as the first race here. I'm being joined today by Durdrak. How you doing today?
Feeling good. Excited for a good race.
Oh, yeah. Very excited. Starting with Axlord Armor. Very interesting.
Armor. Let's go.
Not bad, not bad. I mean, there are definitely some bosses, like Akmadon, for example, that you definitely... using the Axlord Armor is not even like that bad of an idea, if that's your plan.
Especially early on.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, combat has been solved. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Man, just Chrysogram in the first room. We talk about these seeds being stacked because of guaranteed item drops. I mean, you just have a Chrysogram sitting in front of you, basically on a platter, as soon as you spawn it.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. This spawn location, this is one of the trickier ones, I feel like. It's come up a few times in the tournament where it's nice that you get a few levels under your belt with some easy enemies to kill. I mean, not that it really matters when you have Chrysogram at the start, but it also can be a little bit awkward to figure out where to go from here, because there's Death on the right and Galamoth on the right, and those are two potential checks. I think in Chimera too, since we don't have to kill all the bosses, it's not like a mandatory thing. Prioritizing boss checks is a little bit sketchy, but you also don't want to just like leave these checks since you're right here. So yeah, both of them going up for Doppelganger, that makes sense.
It's a little tough because you would kind of like to go and do those, especially starting with the Chrysogram. You can do them real quick, and it means you don't have to come back for them. But it makes it awkward for your exit of the second castle. You want to get back to first castle at some point, and it's going to be hard to find your way back if you go to Death and Galamoth right away.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see. I've seen a lot of people will do these checks and then go grab the warp and kill Death, and then like try and do like a full circle route where they then go to castle entrance and try and do Beelzebub after. Let's see here.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good play.
It's not terrible. I was gonna point out, I was waiting to see who's gonna start using the dash speed boots first. I think, yeah, Advent starting to use them for these like jumps over the dark octopuses here, which saves a decent amount of time. Anytime you're in the air and you don't have access to like bat transformation or whatever, using those dash boots to your advantage is quite nice.
For sure.
And it's a little bit awkward. Like, it's a movement option that you don't always have available to you when you play this game. It's like a randomizer exclusive thing, and only certain presets will have it. So it's very easy to forget to do it or not be super comfortable with it. But getting that a la carte shield drop, though, could be nice. Shield Rod or Maulblong Sword opens up for even more damage. Not that these players are really hurting for it, but I mean, a la carte shield is very strong because it also just prevents you from dying, constantly being invincible and healing. Could be nice. Even with Chrysogram, there is the chance that you just, mess up some movement here and there and end up in a bad spot where you might die. And nothing. Let's go!
Shield dash back the other way.
Yeah, and that feels pretty brutal. Obviously, when you're in a seat like this, like, you kind of have to check it because you're right here, but you feel bad when it's literally nothing. It's like, I just wasted like a minute and a half shield dashing through this dang hallway.
You kind of got it, and the second castle starts.
Yep.
You end up in this situation a lot where you're here with no movement, and you just gotta make your way.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where they go from here, because this is the kind of the turning point. Chimera, it's kind of awkward because if you find a movement option, any movement option, it kind of like opens things up tremendously. Bat is very powerful, obviously, because it's Soul of Bat. Wolf, in this preset, if you find the Soul of Wolf, it gives you access to Skill of Wolf and Power of Wolf, and it gives you the discounted MP costs of like as if you're playing Lycanthrope. So very powerful to find Wolf if you can. And then Mist also has no MP cost associated with it, so you can use that in the first castle a little bit efficiently to like do some out of logic stuff if you need to.
Yeah, and even if you find like a out of logic gravity boots, that makes your return to the first castle very nice. With the included thrust sword you start with, you get to come back immediately with a flight.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, the second castle starts, they give you a temporary flight that you have for now, but as soon as they enter the first castle, it's gone. And they have to reacquire flight the legitimate way. And we see Advent already working on Death, has a bit of a movement advantage here so far, it seems. A little bit cleaner shield dashing, a little bit cleaner movement. And Demon card, let's go. That'll...
Press the switch. He's not going to press the switch. But
yeah, I mean...
Imagine somebody doing those item checks.
I mean...
There's a lot of them up there.
There are a lot of checks, that is for sure. Not grabbing... Yeah, Advent's not grabbing the warp. And is just going straight up to Galamoth. Interesting. Maybe with a save split, it's not too bad. I don't know if they have library cards in their inventory. I don't think I've seen them open it, and I haven't been paying attention. Because this is also a good spot to library card if you have one.
I've been kind of staring at Advent, and I don't think I've seen any library card or anything that looks like it. So yeah. I don't think we're in any situation like that.
Okay. Well, then maybe it's just, get the check out of the way. Not save splitting for it. Ooh.
Yeah, didn't save split for it either. So, I mean, he just wants it done. I mean, a lot of the presets in this tournament are all bosses. You could kind of be in that all bosses mindset where you kind of just need to do the boss anyway. So,
yeah. Looks like Alex is making his way towards the warp. This might be the kind of like that half measure idea where you grab the warp and then you just keep going to down through the mines and then towards like castle entrance through the caverns. I do like that route a decent amount. Maybe Alex is trying to figure it out. Oh, he was waiting for the thing to spawn. That makes sense. So yeah, we are seeing a route divergence here.
Definitely gives you some options, because especially if while you're making your way down through the castle to make your way to first castle, if you ever pick up a library card at any point on your way down, you can always just warp back up as soon as you are ready to leave to take care of Galamoth, and library cards from there. Makes it very efficient. Yeah,
this is going to be a little scary, I want to say, for Advent. Ooh, especially the fact that he opens with the wrong attack here. Elixir, yeah, very aware to just use some iframes, summon spirit iframes as well. The issue with summon spirit iframes, though, is it could unintentionally knock Galamoth back into the attack, because you need him to not be taking knockback for at least a little while here to turn around. Okay, good. Because if you're doing damage to him while he's facing the wrong way, he can break out of the hit stun to just do the ball attack again. So that's why a lot of players will do the Hellfire instead, because it's like perfectly timed to give you the iframes that you need to dodge the attack in full. But it could be a little tricky to set up the infinite afterwards. But with Chrysogrim, it's, even if you get knocked down to the ledge, you can just kind of try and fight him legitimately, and it's not too terrible.
Very interesting, because in a different match that Advent played, I saw him he did the exact same way of recovering that. He pulled out an item with iframes on it, used it, and started doing summon spirits. So he has a plan for when it goes wrong, for sure. This is interesting that he doesn't have the Hellfire one in the background, because I find that one to be a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, summon spirits, maybe it's just a more comfortable input.
Maybe.
And unfortunate, goes all this way to find nothing. I mean, you get levels under your belt, which could help with having like a larger MP bar later, but because Galamoth does give quite a lot of experience. But starting in the second castle, usually by the time you leave, you're like close to level 30, if not higher anyways, just after killing like a boss or two.
Yeah. And the HP is nice too. Gives you some wiggle room for getting hit by some particularly nasty enemies in the second castle.
Yeah. Because I don't know if Alex is at I don't think either of them are at max HP. Because I know the color of your HP is like slightly brighter if you're at max HP, but I don't know if either of them are. Maulblung is acquired.
We have a Maulblung.
Okay. I mean, it's nice. Like I said, I ain't hating on Maulblung Sword to give you Alucard shield access, but it's like you already got the Chrysogrim. Honestly, I don't know. The time it takes to menu and do the spell and whatnot. No, it probably is still worth it, actually. If you plan on doing more bosses in the second castle, it probably is worth it.
And honestly, doing it like this right before bees is a little interesting, because getting, with their current set of movement options, getting 2 bees with the Alucard shield might be a little tricky.
I mean, the way that you one of the ways that I like doing it is you activate the shield, jump into his leg, immediately unpress shield so you're not killing the leg. So you have something to dive kick off of. Then you dive kick off of that same leg, get inside of him, and then just do the dive kick shenanigans. So.
Oh, well, yeah, he did exactly what you said. Ignore me.
He actually was holding it out the whole time, too. So he had it at the right angle, where if you do too much damage to the leg too quickly, it will the leg will break from under you before you can dive kick off of it. So he just did it at the right angle where it wasn't killing the leg too quickly. So, yeah, long story short,
it's free.
Yeah, there's other ways you could do it too, where you like try and gravity jump into him and then use the angle of the gravity jump to like have the shield inside of him. There's a couple things you can do, but yeah. Long story short, a la carte shield, very, very strong at dealing with Beelzebub, especially if you can just dive kick off of him to keep the shield inside of him the whole time. And it looks like Advent is basically now playing catch up a little bit, kind of chasing Alex through the same route that he took, but all that time spent at Galamoth, he now is going to need to recover later on. So, yeah, out of the two routes, I think Alex's route, not only just because in hindsight worked out, I think generally speaking is just the stronger route. But maybe
I think it does leave you with more options.
Yeah.
Because by just going to Galamoth there, like it kind of it puts you further into the second castle with no easy way to leave.
Yes.
And if it ends up being nothing, you're not getting any reward for it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just all lost time at that point.
Yeah. What you're doing when you do a check like that is you're putting a bunch of weight on that check to save you the time back, basically. And if it doesn't save you that time back, it's like, okay, now I need to do something else to make up for that time if my opponent didn't go for that. And it also could be something where maybe Advent is thinking, like, it's early game. I want to do as many checks as possible because they're all very important to do early. Earlier movement relics end up paying off dividends. Or maybe it's also possible that he's like, I just don't want Alex to do this check, and I don't do it, and it ends up being something huge. So maybe he thinks he has better movement. Maybe he thinks that like playing more conservatively, doing all the checks and whatnot is like a more consistent strategy versus Alex. It's very possible as well.
I would agree with that analysis if that was his thought process to be more thorough in this kind of matchup.
Yeah, because that is one of the like more frustrating ways to lose versus somebody where it's like, oh, they just like did a thing that I decided to skip this one time and it ends up being the thing that I needed. Like that obviously feels bad.
Yeah.
But also, if you get too locked into that strategy, it's almost counterintuitive in a way where, like, yeah, but if you don't skip anything and your opponent just skips one or two things that, like, are kind of obvious choices, like high likelihood to not screw you over, then, like, you're basically putting the onus to win on the fact that there has to be something that they miss in a weird way. Like, the math just doesn't work out in your favor. Yeah, I don't think I saw Classic get the Maulblung here, but still using the Chrysogrim. Again, like, Chrysogrim's still very, very good. I wouldn't be like if I was in a post-race call with somebody and I was like, oh, what weapon were you using? And they said a la carte shield, and I was like, oh, I was using Chrysogrim. I'm not going to be like, oh, man, that's not fair.
Well,
however...
He's taken on the Guardian.
I
which is interesting.
Agree with doing this item check. Oh, I guess maybe he's just trying to find his opening, or maybe he gave up. I don't know. That's one way to handle it for sure.
Yeah, that was crazy. I like that.
I think Hellfire is a decent option as well.
Yeah.
Maybe his thought process is like, oh, like surely I have Chrysogrim, it'll kill him pretty quick. But they do resist slash damage, so it does take a little bit longer than you would think. Yeah, even with a la carte shield, I'm pretty sure it takes just a couple of hits, so.
See, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, Alex is probably just passing Akbadan because he's not doing the...
Yeah, he's not going to do the
thing to get in there,
slide to get in there. I think in this tournament, it's just you and Classic are the only two that have attempted it that I've seen. So
I think we're the only two that know it in the bracket.
Ooh, a second chance to get Maulblung here. So it was, I thought it was maybe the Lesser Demons that dropped it, but it was actually Cthulhu. So Advent does have a chance to get the Maulblung if he doesn't have it already. Assuming he goes through the same route, which I imagine he does. Like, you've already done... Yeah, you're going to go down and do Aquadon and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
For a second there, Alex was, like, doing backdashes through that screen transition. I'm like, whoa, was he trying to reverse shift line or something? What's he doing?
Yeah, definitely don't do any of that. We do play glitchless here.
Mana Prisms dropped from the Black Panther. I mean, yeah, SotN glitchless, like, you know, sometimes the game says, actually...
We do have some Vile stacks in there.
Yeah. I guess technically it's the no major glitches rule set, which is not. Shrug.
Mm-hmm.
It's all arbitrary made up anyways. It doesn't matter.
Spike breaker in second castle.
Okay. That if at the very least is convenient, it gives you some info about the potential progression of what the seed wants from you. That is one of the nice things about starting in second castle is as you do checks, you get better info about the potential like solution to the seed itself. So, oh, Mana Prism's also dropping from the Ghost Dancers. Interesting. So
yeah, and getting the spike breaker so early basically guarantees as soon as you have access to going down to the catacombs, you're gonna be able to do spike breaker right away for that juicy info of what the seed wants you to do.
Yeah, the spike breaker location very much is a high complexity location. The randomizer assumes that you have Jewel of Open, Soul of Bat, and Echo of Bat in order to actually check that location. So that just makes it a higher priority in these presets, because the harder to get to locations just tend to be the ones that have a higher likelihood to be the last thing that you need. So, dude, I see every like permutation and combination of like those pillar checks. Like Alex does one and then leaves. I've seen people do all three then leave. Ren does all three plus the two bomb knights and then leaves. Like dealer's choice, I guess. Just
yeah, I mean. Depends on how desperate you are, I guess.
Yeah. And, ooh, Skill of Wolf found. Not, like, super required or anything like that, but maybe... No, because actually as soon as you find Wolf, it's literally useless.
Chimera, it doesn't do anything Chimera. It only gives you the info that it's there, which for skill doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So, Advent getting through, doing the front slide tech here to wiggle out here. And unfortunately, does 2 extra relic checks that Alex didn't do, and both of them ended up being nothing. So
that's one of those situations where knowing the way to do something out of logic loses you a little bit of time.
Yeah. Sometimes it does work out that way. Sometimes it's also, there's the Maul-Blung drop for Advent. But yeah, sometimes it even makes things worse because it like lets you find a thing like merman statue or one of the rings, and then you're like, perfect, this will give me an advantage later. And then the
knock-on effects,
and then you just end up finding like Echo of Bat or like Spike Breaker later. Then it's like, I
mean, you know, I be going for the out of logic Spike Breaker all the time, and like, you know how many times I do that and Spike Breaker's just sitting there. Yeah, it feels so bad every time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, it does indeed happen.
Where was the power of Wolf? Where'd that come from?
That was just found now at Leapstone.
At Leapstone? Okay.
Yeah. So Alex first into the first castle. That's pretty big. And with that, he kind of gets priority on getting like real progress done. But honestly, Advent's not too far behind. I'd say probably like maybe like 4-ish minutes at most, which for doing those 2 checks, honestly, could be a lot worse. Like that is time saved that can be made up by movement and by doing maybe 1 or 2 just like key choices later on in the seed.
I mean, it's good info because he knows that the only thing he's left behind is creature.
Yes.
So I don't see him, you know, missing a Vlad and wanting to go to second castle unless he has no other options at this point.
Although Alex has
he got 3.
So it's very unlikely that he ends up, because one of them is going to be the complexity Vlad somewhere in the first castle. So
yeah,
it would have to be some like wild route where creature has the final Vlad for I feel like Advent to really get a huge advantage in this regard. Because then it means that Alex has to check a couple of other things first, potentially like Aquadon or Galamoth. And he has that warp right next to Galamoth, so he's probably going to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
If it comes down to it. But yeah, if there's one more random Vlad in the first castle, this ends up just kind of being pure time loss in a way. Because I doubt there's a world where Alex doesn't find it. Unless he skips some more stuff in the first castle, which I don't know. If you've already left behind some stuff in the second castle, how willing are you to do first castle skips? It's a mentality thing. Some people play that risky, and it does pay off. And some people, you know,
You can do it that way too.
Okay.
I knew about the gravity boots one. I didn't know about that one.
So Advent did this in his last match, and I was like, hold on, was that an accident? Like, how did he do that? Turns out he just knows tech. He's got the. I mean, that is a glitch. I go
for the gravity boots one because I know about that one.
Okay, so everyone's cheating in my tournament. Okay, I understand.
There's a lineup for the gravity boots one. I don't know what it is, but I didn't know you could do it with leapstone like that. That's pretty cool.
I guess everyone's just cheating, dude. Wow, can't believe it.
Look, no major glitches.
True,
he went through like one. He went through like one square
pixels.
of stairs, bro.
Yeah. If it's this many pixels of clipping through something, it's banned. If it's not this many, whatever. It's
he clipped through less than the outer wall floor clip.
True. And I mean, honestly, I do kind of wish outer wall floor clip was allowed.
Just give me the word. I'll do it immediately.
Yeah. I guess the downside is actually there's no reason to ever do it in rando because if you're in the hallway anyways, you basically go all the way to the warp. And I think if you load in the warp, it doesn't work because then
you can't do it at that point.
And gravity boots found at Spirit Orb. That is
more mob long swords.
Oh yeah, dropped from the
something.
I think not the dolls. Maybe it's the slingers. And ooh, Alex runs out of juice. Yeah. The way that works is either you have to run out of MP or you have to collectively hold the shield out for I think it's 255 total seconds. Something like that. There's an internal timer somewhere ticking down, and it's 255 of something. It's not frames, but I assume it's seconds, because otherwise that doesn't make sense. Oh, Alex didn't realize that his shield got turned off. Yeah, he's completely unaware.
That's interesting. I mean, a whole bunch of shields popped out on your screen.
Yeah. What do you think that animation is for? I wonder
do we just not want to recast, or we're being stubborn about recasting right now?
You know, this might just be one of those knowledge things where like he's never used the Alucard shield this much. It's possible because it's pretty rare to see the spell run out.
Oh well, he's got to put on Claymore now anyway for flight, so
this might be one of those.
Be a good point to not recast.
At this point, I actually don't put the Alucard shield back on. I just use Chrysogram just to save on menus anytime you want to do out of logic flight, which there's a couple of options for it to come up. Yeah, this feels pretty inefficient to me personally, but you know,
especially because Chryssogram's going to kill everything in the first castle within the same time, and like I wouldn't recast until going back to the second castle and to see.
The only bosses it really saves time on that have enough HP where it matters is like Alrox and Granfaloon, kind of, because the setup to get Granfaloon killed quickly with Chrysogram, sometimes you're taking damage, and if you're taking damage, you're not doing damage, and he survives a little bit longer, but
yeah,
generally speaking, like it's negligible time difference. And like already, I think we're looking at where Advent is. He's not that far behind. He's like a check and a half behind at this point.
Quick.
Yeah, that fast. I mean, that world record level movement, if anything, will help you out. Gravity boots found. That's going to be.
He gets his mob longsword.
Yeah.
So
and he's not going to be
that option.
And he's not going to be messing around with menus because I imagine he's had Moblung for a little while now and he chose not to put it on. So.
Oh, did he get it the original one? I thought he might have missed it.
No, he picked one up from the Cthulhu after the one that is in Alrox's quarters. Reverse Alrox. So yeah, he's going to have less menus to have to worry about to do these out of logic checks with flight here.
He is looking at it for a little bit. There we go.
You know, maybe he opened the menu and he was like, maybe I have time to take a sip of my drink while the menu loads in or something.
Perhaps.
And Power of Mist, going all the way to grab Power of Mist, that's an interesting choice. I actually think...
Yeah, especially
Advent
considering that it's only going to be useful if you have mists, and you can just go through the gate if you have mists.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
I'm pretty sure Advent sees this check and then just turns around. I don't think he goes for it.
Probably. Especially already having out of logic flight, it's like...
Yeah. Why would you need like real flight? And like
even if you skipped it and find mist at like a weird location, it's not like you're leaving flight. You have it already.
Yeah.
Out of logic, but you have it already.
Yeah, for those just tuning in, this is the first match.
He's going.
Never
He's
mind.
not going. He
second guessed himself. Yeah. That is correct. I think maybe he thought, oh, this might be important for logic or something, and then he's like, wait a minute, I already have out of logic flight. We're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for those just joining, this is race number 1 between Alex and Classic Advent. The race did start a little bit later than it was supposed to, but we're here now. We're watching. We're enjoying the match here. Alex decides to use the warp to go back to Castle Entrance to do the Alchemy Lab checks. Yeah, because you found Gravity Boots and you haven't found any progression besides that, so this is basically guaranteed to be the next step. Whereas, difference in decision making here. Instead of using the warp to go back to Castle Entrance, Advent is backtracking? Interesting.
Where's he going with that?
Maybe he thinks it's faster to get to Alchemy Lab by just backtracking to it, or maybe he wants to prioritize getting to Outer Wall to get that warp, maybe, because he's like, well, I'm already here. Like, I'm already progressing towards Outer Wall, kind of.
Isn't it better to go from Keep at that point?
Probably, yeah. Okay, he wants to go to Outer Wall. Okay.
Okay, well, I don't think this is that much slower than going through Keep.
Oh, maybe his thought process is like, because, yeah, he hasn't been to Outer Wall, so Gravity Boots could also unlock the Fairy Card location. So maybe he's like thinking there's more density in this direction, and I could always do Alchemy Lab later and then combine that with transformation to do All Rocks later as well.
Yeah, it can always be a seed where Gravity Boots just like takes you to Leapstone.
Yes.
And you don't technically need it right now. And if that ends up being the case, going towards the more density will work out a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, this is a case where it's going to be Fairy Card.
Library cards from the Diplo.
That's pretty huge. Honestly? Oh, no, you have Gravity Boots. I was like, maybe it's worth just library carding now to skip the Doppelganger fight, but you don't have to fight Doppelganger here. But yeah, I think with this, that I think might be what Advent needs to kind of take the lead here.
Yeah, because it looks like Alchemy Lab wasn't even useful.
No, there was nothing in there at all. So long as Advent decides to do it later, it'll just be more efficient. And then Alex also now has to go to Outer Wall, but is in this like awkward middle part of the Marble Gallery here. It's like, do you just keep going to get to Outer Wall, or do you go to Castle Keep and then go from there? I mean, it's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you just go. I think you just keep going to the right from here. Yeah. I think trying to do the whole warp shenanigans just ends up being less efficient overall. And, saving library for later. I actually kind of agree with this, because you never know when you're going to find Mist. Because if you find Mist in like a flight locked location, that could just make things more efficient. And there's a random Vlad. Okay. Well, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, definitely doing these checks that are right outside the library before you go in. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Because if either of them are missed, then you're just losing a whole bunch of time for no reason.
Not only that, you also have library cards. So it's like, do you go to Castle Keep and do the flight checks there?
Now you might just not do library now at all. But I feel like you kind of, your checks available right now are kind of weird, because you've got the 2 in Keep and the 1 in Sword Card as far as flight checks go. So you still are getting more by going in here, I think, for the time being.
Like, it's obviously good density. You get 3 checks for 1 location. You have library cards to come back to do Soul of Bat later if you need to, once you find Mist. But I mean, I'm a little greedy, and I'm like, ooh, I want max value out of my library cards, actually. So I probably would have dipped and done like as many flight checks as I could. Maybe not Sword Card, but all the other ones, and then use the library card to just warp here. But
yeah, I think the main scenario where it's like maybe the library card comes in clutch later on is you get into a situation where like the progression here is Jewel, which it's not. It's Leapstone.
Yeah.
But if the progression was Jewel,
that would also
then you could pretty much do everything down there before using your library card to come back out of there. And if there's no extra library cards in the shop, then it could be pretty good. Although, if that was the case in this seed, Diplo has library card. You could go through that hallway again for another one.
Interestingly enough, Advent looks at the shop, just spams the button, buys the relic, and then leaves. Doesn't even look at anything in the shop. Doesn't look for duplicator. Doesn't look for. I guess he's confident with the gear that he has. He's like, you know what? It's not even worth scrolling the menu. And honestly, that's kind of based. I actually like that a lot.
I like it because I mean I do spend a generous amount of time in the shop whenever I I'm looking for maybe library cards or Mana Prism duplicator, that kind of thing. But
the other thing too is like he has the library cards and he obviously intends on using them at some point. Maybe he's thinking to himself, okay, once I'm later on in the seed, I'll like actually read through the shop a little bit more thoroughly to see if I need any of this stuff. But I think he has
maybe if the seed feels like it wants you to use more library cards than you have or something like that, then you would take a look at the shop.
Because I think he got 2 from the Diplos, so that's and also
I mean, two library cards for most seeds is like
more than enough.
You're probably good. Got to be pretty bad for you to be using 3.
Yeah, unless it's like a preset that has reverse library cards, but
yeah.
But in this case, I think 2 should probably be fine. And there's Jewel of Open. Immediately finds the next step of progression. That feels good. Granted, there wasn't that many flight locations left to check. So the other thing that feels maybe a little bit bad is no transformation yet. So you can't do all rocks yet. Ooh, Ring of Vardo. That's nice. Yeah, you can't do all rocks yet, which means you can't check the Echo of Bat location. That also means like Sword card, like you're not going to go all the way out of your way to do Sword card, especially now that you found Jewel of Open. You're like, okay, like we can just ignore Sword card for now. Oh, the other thing I just realized, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, goes to show how much I'm paying attention. They both have 4 Vlad relics, so the win condition is glasses and the complexity Vlad, and that's it, and then you just win. So yeah, doing any extra checks on top of this is pretty superfluous. So yeah, just follow the complexity chain as quickly as you can. And then also make a pit stop at a spike breaker.
Yeah. This is a weird situation mainly because of not having holy glasses, so they kind of still have to go through and do the checks. Otherwise, I would just like save as soon as I got into caverns and go directly to spike breaker.
Yeah.
I might even still consider doing it in this situation, just do the rest of the checks. But
yeah, go straight to spike breaker and then maybe backtrack a little to find the thing that leads to glasses, because right now the complexity count is gravity boots, leapstone, jewel, and spike breaker was in second castle, so
yeah,
that does kind of point you in the direction that Final Vlad might be at Silver Ring. So you want to keep doing checks in case you find like Mist at yeah, because it could be something like Mist is in the caverns and then the glasses are at Soul of Bat, and then you go to the second castle to get the spike breaker and then you come back, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not quite in like ignore everything go mode yet, but and yeah, at this point, Alchemy Lab has not been checked yet for Advent, but I mean, Alex isn't too far behind, but I think Advent is starting to. At this point, I think he's fully in the lead. Even if he went back and did Alchemy Lab right now, I think he still is probably ahead.
Yeah, and it's looking likely that he probably won't, considering the situation.
Yeah.
Because Caverns could just have all you need in this scenario. Like, Caverns could give you your way to check Silver Ring, or also have Holy Glasses somewhere. Like, gonna be tough for Alex to make back at this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for those curious about the tracker situation for Advent, he's just not showing all of his tracker on his stream, so I'm just showing what I can of it. It's like missing the last like line for some reason.
Oh yeah, it is missing the last line.
Because people are like, wait, where's Leapstone? And it's like, Leapstone's being covered, Skill of Wolf is being covered, and a familiar card is being covered. But
yeah,
it's fine. We know what's going on. But yeah, also finding Wolf there, pretty nice. Gives you some better movement options now. Full Wolf is always a fun thing, especially if you're practiced with it. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with it. Oh, misses the...
and he went for it, but...
Yeah, it's kind of a tight positioning. You need to be like kind of farther to the right than just spawning into the room. But
Yeah.
at the very least, seeing Advent go for it and try and use the wolf movement gives me it's a strong sign that he's like ready and willing to use it to save time. And ooh, where was Gold Ring again? I think it was at the start of this.
Yeah, it was at entrance.
So that was flight locked. So
Yeah.
that means this could be the next progression. And you are pretty close to checking it, honestly. With gravity boots, you just go back up the shaft, maybe a save split on the way up there. Ooh, okay. Decides not to go
I mean,
back now. Interesting.
I would for sure just keep going and
Another
go to
library
Spike
card.
Breaker and see what's there, because it could just be leading you there, or
That's
Spike
true.
Breaker will give you the information you need to know what to do for the rest of the seed.
That is fair. Yeah, that might actually be... I still maybe would consider a save split at the very least, just in case. But that's just me. Yeah, my fear is that it's like Bat there. But I guess with the wolf movement, you kind of don't really need Bat. And it's they're pretty late into the seed, 35 minutes. Like, there's not a ton left for Bat to really save time over wolf movement. And wolf movement is also more MP efficient, and they don't have access to like infinite MP or anything like that. So that might just be the play. Where's he going?
What is happening? What is he doing?
Oh, he wants to.
Is he
grab
not
the-
doing Grand Falloon, so he's getting the warp or something?
Yeah, I think he's doing a bit of a safety play, which honestly respect. Because it could be one of those things where the ring actually isn't the logical step. It's like Merman statue is at
Right.
Grand Falloon, and then that's the next thing that needs to be unlocked to get to glasses, because he doesn't have glasses yet. So, no,
Yeah.
I think this is a very strong play. I think his plan.
I think it's good.
Oh, because he hasn't done Alchemy Lab yet or All Rocks yet. So his plan is probably, I'm going to do this check. It's probably going to be like either Final Vlad or the thing that gives me the info on Final Vlad. And then from there, I'm going to go do Alchemy Lab. I'm going to do All Rocks. And if I don't find glasses at that point, then I'll come back and do this. It also gives him
It's
access.
an okay plan, yeah.
Yeah, it also gives him access to a mermaid statue later as well. So, no, I think this is a pretty strong play because it covers a lot of options without leaving you completely screwed if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found Wolf down here, so All Rocks is in logic now. That is very true. And, ooh, familiar card. Unfort.
So no information.
Yeah, no information
other than Bat isn't.
Yeah, Bat is not in the complexity chain, so you don't have to worry about... Like, Bat can be anywhere now.
Yeah.
Which is, like, cool, but, like, technically it has to be anywhere in a higher step than... Equal or higher step than Wolf, most likely, because Wolf technically can be progress here. And in fact, I would consider trying to do All Rocks somewhat early, just in case. And also, you still have Holy Glasses open as well. The Holy Glasses location.
This might be the occasion where he thinks about going back to Alchemy Lab if he was going to, because it does. He gets to go through all of the checks he hasn't done so far in a straight line up the castle, other than Silver Ring.
Yeah. I actually think I would have maybe saved Alchemy Lab for last, like the last thing you do before going to Second Castle.
He might still do that because he can either warp to entrance and do that straight line, or he can warp to Olrox's quarters. But then he'll have to make the decision to go down or up to check either Olrox or Holy Glasses first.
So he's going this way to get to Holy Glasses. I don't know if that ends up being faster when you have Wolf movement, but it is still fast. Like at the end of the day, both options I think are at the very least close. This might actually end up being faster now that I think about it.
What option would you be doing instead? Going,
you just go
from Outer Wall.
Yeah, just go directly from Outer Wall. It's probably slower, but I figured like Wolf move. If you have full Wolf and you're going through those hallways, there's like barely anything stopping you.
Yeah.
I think with the faster load speed of Fast Core, the warp and the fast warps, this ends up maybe being faster. Because I know back in the day, back before we did all this cheater fast loads and fast warp stuff, it definitely would have been faster to do it the other way. It looks like Alex is doing the same exact route. This is crazy. Just a little bit delayed.
Interesting.
Here.
He went all the way like to the Bone Arc and then library carded, so he was thinking about it on the way.
Ooh, library cards
there
are
are
on the
library
show.
cards.
Yeah. But
Saw Dragon Helm.
Dragon Helm could be useful, you know. Not much else. So Yeah, Advent again with the unconventional, just not looking at the shop at all, but turns out to be pretty strong play. It's just free time save if there's nothing in there. Oh, Echo.
That's where Echo was.
Wait, so
interesting.
So the rings aren't part of the chain either. Huh?
So I mean, all rocks is probably where our progression lies.
Okay. I mean, you're already here, so we're gonna find that out anyways. And like realistically, nobody skips holy glasses here. Like, there's just when you find the ring where you found it in the catacombs, or in the caverns, you just don't skip this.
Yeah, it's like by the numbers, it's something that you could consider doing. But it'd be very hard to come to that conclusion while you're playing, because Wolf is like transformation being the thing that like unlocks all rocks is like a hard thing to think of when you find another piece of complexity on the same layer.
Well, Alex
he doesn't
figured
have
it.
The other ring.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have the other ring because he where was the other ring? Wait. Huh? Why doesn't he have the other ring?
Succubus? Question mark? Was that where it was?
Alex skipped Scylla?
Or Scylla? It was one of those two.
Wait, he skipped Scylla. So he went straight to Spikebreaker, skipped literally everything. Actually, that's a pretty defensible decision when you're just looking for Final Vlad, but you still need glasses. Though.
I mean, I even said I would think about doing it even when missing Holy glasses, but it's risky, but I mean,
in this case, it did save him enough time to kind of be back in this. And honestly, if Advent ends up going back for alchemy lab checks, this might be, this is getting really tight. That's wild how that works out. Yeah, that's one of those scenarios where doing extra checks, you would think, oh, I found progression. This is gonna help me out. Wait, what?
So weird.
Huh?
We haven't seen Merman statue yet.
Yeah, wait. All of this is nothing, and Merman statue is missed into into like Merman. Yeah, Merman statue might be vanilla, or it's missed into Merman statue into holy glasses. Into Final Vlad's second castle?
Gravity 1, Leapstone 2, Jewel 3. If we're placing, let's say, Merman statue in the caverns, then going to Mists, and then Holy Glasses at Soul of Bats, Spikebreaker second castle, Silver Ring Final Vlad, that would be 8. Is 8 the complexity for this preset?
Yes.
In Winner's Final, by the way, doesn't know the number.
Dude, that's fucking insane. Oh, I think we had a similar thing happen yesterday where in one of your matches, wasn't Merman statue like required at some point?
It was Holy Glasses if you're talking about the Nimble Light Seed.
Yeah, that's what it
was. And there was, by the numbers, there was a way I could have known in the situation I was in, and I didn't clock it and ended up skipping it.
In fact, both of these players at this point should know that they have to go back to the mines to do Merman statue. Yeah. And
well, Alex is going over here.
He has to do all of caverns, which is why he's doing it this way, I think. Oh!
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Well, I mean...
So...
Yeah, by the numbers, there can't be anything here, but, I mean, you know...
That's so tough to calculate while you're in the middle of a run, 43 minutes in.
Yeah. For sure.
That's, yeah.
Especially after you have now just gotten rings on that layer and wolf on that layer, and you checked both, and neither of them were anything. One of them led you to Spikebreaker to find a familiar card, and one of them, well, actually, both of them led you to Spikebreaker to find a familiar card.
Wait, I think, they also,
Soul of Bat.
I just realized they both also skipped Grand Floon, so it could be there as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, so it's Grand Floon or Merman statue, which also makes Advent's decision to get that warp beforehand very, very strong. I imagine Alex did the same thing. Or actually, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to worry about that because he's already in the caverns. Ooh, him skipping the caverns. Actually, yeah, paying off now.
He's going to just end up doing all of it anyway. Or not.
Yeah, because
unless he did Succubus.
Yeah, earlier. Advent's not going, or maybe he's refilling MP and then going for the warp to get into the mines.
Did Alex do Succubus and then... she had Wolf, right? So he's done Succubus.
Yeah. Okay, Advent is now going to the warp. I think this is the correct play because you don't want to go back through caverns and backtrack through there when you've already been there. The warp's pretty close. Ooh, this is tough. This is real tough. Oh, does Alex get baited here? Oh.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Because you've already been through one end of the progression.
I would be screaming if I go to Holy Glasses and find Echo there, because I'm going to be like, there was nothing at Spike Breaker. What do you mean? Dude, this seed is ridiculous. I definitely save split it. Yeah. Yeah. This is what I would have done from the previous decision.
Wow, what a frustrating seed.
This is very frustrating, yeah. We've had some wild seeds in the tournament.
The only thing that like saves you here is if you just think, oh, I have library cards, I'm just gonna like do Grand Floon and it's there. That's like the only thing that saves you.
Yeah, oof. And also there's the added stress of like, this is a tournament match, and like, it's very easy to find yourself fighting demons when you're in a tournament match where you're like trying to figure out like, okay, what is most likely my opponent to have skipped? And like, that just adds extra like things to think about.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes there is a very legitimate reason to be focusing on like, okay, if I find this here and my opponent plays like this, they are likely to have skipped these locations, et cetera, et cetera. That can help you kind of calculate what to do in late game situations sometimes. Generally, you kind of want to have a game plan going into these seeds before it gets to that point, but Randomizer is crazy. Like, I don't know. And also with Second Castle.
Find out.
Yeah, with Second Castle start, it's also harder to have a more defined game plan going in, because it really is kind of like, okay, I'm here now. I guess I'll just try and react accordingly. Ooh.
Yeah, very on the fly thinking for the Second Castle starts. There's not really a defined way of thinking about what to do, because I mean, you're in all sorts of different places.
Mm-hmm. And there different presets also required like different like priorities where,
yeah.
Like Recycler, for example, you really want to prioritize getting to the first castle as quickly as possible, since first castle is guaranteed to have everything that you need except for Vlad's.
Yeah, like in normal presets, it's much easier to have the thought pro. Why doesn't he just close the game? What are we doing?
Honestly, he might have just got hit with the brain destroyer.
There we go.
That's honestly, because you think to yourself, oh, Echo of Bat. Okay, so I just need to go to Spike Breaker. Wait, what? Wait, I've already been to Spike. And then your brain starts, like the gears start turning, and this seed is ridiculous.
Like what I was saying about like normal presets, like non-Second Castle star presets, or just random starting location in general, it's much easier to have a very clear picture of like the paths your opponent took if they differed from you. Yes. And what you can do to like kind of counter those different paths. But in this, no clue. It's very hard to have an idea of what your opponent did.
I just realized there's only 2 options left for the random Vlad. It's either at creature or it's at the missed location that no, it has to be creature actually, right? Because all of these remaining checks
we haven't seen the final, have we?
No, I think creature is final Vlad. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Did I say random Vlad? I meant final Vlad.
Is it not just silvering?
Oh wait, it is silvering. You're right. Never mind. My bad.
Because even if they do both, even if with both pieces being the complexity chain here, Second Castle is 7.
Yeah. No. I the seed scrambled my brains, and I'm not even the one playing it.
Yeah, no, you saw Echo show up on your screen, and it somehow fried your brain.
Dude, these seeds have been ridiculous to watch. Like, I don't know. There's been a lot of it's hard to calculate on the fly, especially with the Second Castle starts, because it's like anything you find in the Second Castle, it's like you're given incomplete information about the chain of what the seed wants you to do to complete it. Whereas in like normal seeds where you just start in the beginning of the game and just progress normally, you get to kind of like count along as you play. So knowing the definitive, okay, this is the start, helps quite a bit in figuring out that count.
You can kind of keep a mental number in your head of where you are at, and then once you skip, you can kind of be like, okay, this is where I left off. What can happen?
Yeah.
But it's very hard to keep that mental picture.
Alex is hurting for mana. Yeah, I mean, it does help because I'm pretty sure at this point, Advent is like level like 42 or something like that. So he's got a lot of mana available to him. Alex is also relatively high level, but still.
Also, for anybody that likes to do the counting in the dinner dog methodology of the confidence count, that is so hard in these second castle start scenes, because like you were starting with so much incomplete knowledge, just getting random progression relics in second castle sometimes. Like it's just so hard.
Also going to point out here, I think Alex just found the library card that was in the caverns. He never grabbed it in the first time he was here. Advent's out of library cards. Wait, but Alex...
Wait, really?
Yeah, I mean, would you not library card in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, he is moving manually. I thought he had more. Apparently not.
So Alex remembers that he has library cards, but Advent doesn't. So maybe he's on his way to get one from the Diplo and then use it.
That would be awesome.
He's beelining for Silver Ring first, maybe, and then he's gonna library card. Because
perhaps
that's the only thing that makes sense. That, or he doesn't have library cards and he's gonna use the warps to his advantage. But I mean, this has to be Holy Glasses, like guaranteed. At Soul of Bat, that is. So Alex is gonna find Holy Glasses, and then last Vlad is at. Oh, I don't know which route ends up being faster. Obviously, library cards are broken for just saving you time, but this is gonna be a close one. Oof.
And we just activated Alucard Shield one boss before we're gonna have to reactivate it again.
You know,
second castle.
It'd be like that. Yeah, trying to keep the efficiencies on the top of your mind. And he's gonna library card as well. And he uses the shield to library card. Oh my god, it's a disaster. It's a disaster.
I mean, it didn't matter at this point, but
it is kind of funny. Unless you plan on using the shield to break the shaft orb. Some people do that.
He recast it. He's using it on the shaft orb.
Let's go, dude. Because I'm gonna say, if Advent doesn't have a library card here, this is gonna be very tough. But Alex is given as many opportunities for Classic to.
I mean, dude's like giving 10 seconds away on the Alucard Shield spell alone.
Yeah. Alrighty, there's Final Vlad and opens the menu. He does have a library card left. It was calculated the whole time.
I thought he did have one.
Whew. That is okay. Well, then now that's GG's, because I don't think Alex can get the Final Vlad and get to the second castle in time. Well, maybe. I don't know, actually. It's close.
Well, and you got to remember, we're looking at Mr. Classic Advent. Bro is clean with it with the movement, so he's going to be soaring for the rest of the seed.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Alucard, we know he has the Maul and we know he has the Alucard Shield. He hasn't once, worried about it. He's like, Chrysogram's good enough, it's not even worth menuing. And, outside of the final boss, I think that's just correct. We'll see if he remembers all the way for the final boss, but, he did pick up the Maul Blanc, 20, almost 30 minutes ago at this point.
I mean, even if he doesn't, isn't he kind of... Didn't they get a Varda or something?
Yeah, they did get a Varda.
Chrysogram's going to destroy the guy anyway.
Yeah.
Alucard Shield won't make that much of a difference.
Yeah. Double Chrysogram and double Varda actually ends up being faster if you can mash fast enough, too. So that's another thing. Not that they have that in their back pocket, but still. Yeah, so... Yeah, Classic Advent gets go mode first here. And Alex is really not that far behind. The only downside here is obviously, going all the way here to the chapel and then not being able to use the library card as efficiently. I don't know if the library card ends up actually being faster, or if he's just going to backtrack with a mana prism. Okay.
I feel like it's not faster to library card.
It's probably close, but I think it just barely is faster to just stay here, just to avoid the library card animation at the very least. Yeah, regardless, wild seed for sure.
Yeah, kind of a crazy chain of complexity in this seed because of the like it's at 8 complexity, so you don't really see all that much bait in these seeds, but you got 2 forms of it going both to Bat and Echo, which itself was a familiar card. So
Yeah.
like kind of the most kind of bait you could see.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, solving a, a seed like this on the fly, like especially given the information that they had at the time, is brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. Yeah, I mean, it also, like, keep in mind that Alex also did skip 2 checks that Advent had to do. Or not had to, but chose to do at the start of the second castle here. So, in a way, the fact that it's not punishing him to like lose the race goes to show that maybe the more thorough game plan might just be his thought process going into this. Like, well, I'll rely on my world record level movement here to help carry me through the fact that I might do a couple extra checks.
Yeah. It's a good plan, and the simpler the seed is, the better that thought process is.
Yes, exactly. Also, the sooner that you get go mode, too. That also helps a lot. Oof. There's a lot of time here. Yeah. I mean, it's not just having good movement. There are other things, too, that also help you save time. Obviously, routing is important, but even things like knowing how the Alucard shield works helps. Knowing how to menu efficiently, that sort of thing also helps. Like, there's a lot of small things you can do to help save time in these races that not a lot of people do. Like, not everybody thinks to sort their menu either. Like, when they are late in a seed and they want to, do something that should be faster theoretically, so long as you don't spend too much time in the menus. Like, for example, switching to Alucard Shield to do damage to the final bosses.
Yeah, later on in the seeds, it gets really tough to like. I find myself really looking for either library cards or mana prisms in my inventory, and like a lot of times it's so much faster to go and sort your menu, and I just won't.
It helps a lot, for sure. Especially because medicine, you can sort by just pressing up on that menu, and then medicine's at the very bottom, and you just move all those to the top. So it's very useful for library cards and mana prisms, for sure. But there it is, 5639. A bit of a lengthier Chimera seed, but...
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into Shaft.
Considering it's not all bosses, it's one of our presets where you can skip out on the bosses. That's a pretty long time.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. GG's. I mean, yeah, obviously Alex is going to finish this one out because it's so close. And honestly, I am curious about the total time differential here. The fact that it was this close with only 2 checks difference between the 2 of them, like, and those checks are, like, obviously good to do if you plan on, like, not leaving anything behind, but it goes to show that, like, Alex can very much take a race here or there in this scenario. Like, he's not out of it by any means. And yeah, just a little over a minute difference. Wow. GG's. Let's get up in there and figure out what we're playing next. Yo, GG's.
GG's.
Very, very close seed. Was a lot of fun to watch. Very weird progression there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bait. A lot of bait.
Sending us all over the castle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I thought I was in go mode, as soon as I got Soul of Wolf at at Succubus, but it was bait.
Yep. Yeah, it was a lot of fun stuff.
Can I say something real quick?
Go for it, yeah.
Alex, you win this 100 times out of 10 if you remembered that Godspeed shoes were a thing.
Yeah, I had forgotten Godspeed shoes was a thing until about 40 minutes in.
Oh, damn.
That's tough.
But
yeah, it was very close regardless. But with that, Advent, you do get a ban here. So which preset would you not like to play next?
I'll still ban Rampage. I don't want to play that again.
Sure thing. Rampage is banned.
That's what I
so
like to hear.
We got
I'm just gonna be
Chimera.
like thinking of like, oh, Ghost Dancer was one of the cards, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not thinking
yeah.
of the last one.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, we got Chimera, Cornivus, Nimblelight, and Recycler left to pick.
Let's do some dog life.
Sure thing.
Do
So
Cornivus.
Cornivus sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a quick break. So feel free to grab some water, use the bathroom, do what you got to do. And I'll start up the race room now. So feel free to get started with that whenever you guys are ready. But yeah, we'll be right back. There we go. We are going to let these players get started now for race number 2. We have Cornivus. Sorry, I have to change that on the overlay here. We have Cornivus as the counter pick. So we got lots of dog movement coming up. Very excited for that. I love the wolf movement in this game. And starting with all of it unlocked at the beginning and discounted as far as total MP cost is going to be very interesting to see how these players utilize this movement to its fullest.
Yeah, Cornivus is one of my favorites. The fast movement right from the get-go, and having it be wolf and not just, wing smashing through the castle, because, you can only wing smash through the castle so many times, or at least that's the case for me. I like to use the other forms of movement every so often.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. It is nice to have a change of pace as well. And already we're seeing a difference in routing because Advent, I don't think has done Darkwing Bat and is down here in the reverse attic. Is the plan to save
Looking for some items, I guess.
Maybe. Looking for items or planning on saving everything for later? No, he's just doing item checks.
Going back, he was just looking for some items.
Fair enough. Oh, I mean, yeah,
Library
if
card from the Yorick.
Yeah, if Yorick's dropping library cards, you definitely want a handful of those, especially because this preset has the reverse library cards enabled. So opens up your routing decisions quite a bit here, and makes things a little bit interesting. You got to ask the question: when do I decide to do creature? When do I decide to go back to the first castle? When do I decide to go back to the second castle? And Alex opting to go very far into this area, but takes a lot of damage from the Bomb Knight.
With multiple library cards in hand, this changes the kind of routes you can go for in the second castle here, because since this is all bosses, you want to do all of them. Mm-hmm. And with the wolf movement, right side is much more easy and comfortable, in my opinion. Yep. I think in most people's opinions, with just the wolf, right side is way more comfortable. It's just when you do right side in these seeds, you kind of, creature's a little bit weird because a lot of people like to do the reverse right side thing nowadays, where you go up from bees to death and to, doppelganger, force of echo, all that. Yep. But then you leave creature there and it's hard. But with the reverse library card, you can go there immediately.
Alex also in a precarious spot in Symphony of the Night's version of the worst room in the game, which these two rooms back to back with the Cloaked Knights and the Medusa heads, very, very stressful, but makes it through. Doesn't get too much damage here, leaving on a pretty nice amount of HP, if I had to say so myself. But overall, I don't think I can sign off on this route decision from Alex. I think the idea of doing right side is just a little bit stronger, but I guess he didn't pick up that library card, did he?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I still think right side ends up being your better option, even if you have to either leave creature in that awkward spot or you just decide to do the classic run across the castle after you do bees, because I mean that's pretty quick with wolf, so it's not so bad if you end up in that situation. Going left side here, ill-advised in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this decision, but it could be worse, I guess. Like, it's not... I don't know. It depends on what he finds here as well. Like, that also could matter. Yeah. This being Cornivus, you have to kill all the bosses anyways. So at the very least, like, this is something that Advent is going to have to do later. The reverse library cards are going to help with that, obviously. But, there's a chance that it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, could just be early bat.
Early bat could help. Also, getting access to like a Vlad early could help you early later in the seed with like skipping non-boss related checks. So that also could help. We will see. We will see. No need to do any shenanigans to get to Akmadon. You just wolf run through. And Silver Ring. Okay, hold on. There's a chance that this early creature check ends up paying off. It's a little bit less likely than finding like a Vlad Relic outright, but you know, could be something. And Spike Breaker.
If you end up, you know, leaving creature behind, which if you do the whole reverse right side thing, it's pretty common to leave creature behind and save them for your reverse library card later. That could be important.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a tough call for sure. If it ends up being, it's gonna come down to what is at Holy Glasses realistically. And when does Advent decide to use the reverse library card? Important to note that you cannot activate the reverse library card to warp you to the reverse library until you have set foot at a specific spot in the first castle. It's the pedestal after saving Richter. So essentially, once you enter the first castle, it then becomes available. But it's could be a little bit awkward to use even at that point. It's always awkward because it's like you want to use your library cards to leave the second castle because it's very efficient to do so. But then you need to get Holy Glasses to come back, and then even with the reverse library cards, it can be a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do something different. This is Alex's win condition, says crazy. In a way, yeah, you could say that this is an unconventional route decision, so therefore I know my opponent likely isn't to do it, and I need to have some sort of variance in routing in order to win. That's possible. It also could be like I'm down a game, so I want to do something crazy for the comeback. That also could work.
Definitely the idea of doing something that you are confident your opponent won't do. Definitely nice if you think you're the one that's like kind of down on the movement side of things.
Yep.
Which, I mean, in this set, Alex probably is.
I mean, there's very few people I think that can be confident in a like straight up race with movement versus Advent.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even confident that I'd win that race 10 times out of 10.
I mean, yeah, he is the only guy up there challenging your records at the moment.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. And ooh, finding Form of Mist early. That is nice if you're if you've bet the house on Advent winning this 2-0. But if you're hoping for a comeback and potentially a game 3, that's maybe a little scary. Because this also now means that anytime Advent decides to library card, it's going to lead to just more value, most likely. It's going to lead to like extra stuff. So we'll see.
Advent is getting a little bit. What is happening here? There we go. He really wanted the diagonal on that one.
You know, sometimes you just it gets in your head that you're like, no, I know how to do this. I can do this.
He would not settle for the straight up gravity jump. He needed the diagonal.
Yeah.
That's a morale gravity jump right there.
Like I said earlier in the set, sometimes when you're in a tournament setting, you can find yourself fighting demons. You never know like what your opponent is doing, and if you have it in your head that you want to do something in a specific way, or if you're thinking about routing something like later on in the seed, you can find yourself autopiloting to these interesting movement decisions for sure.
For sure.
Ooh, shield rod drop. That could obviously be useful. I mean, Marcel's by no means a bad weapon, but it's still not as good as shield rod plus Alucard shield.
Saw a dragon helm for Alex in the hallway to Force of Echo here.
Very useful, very useful. Finds the back card. Was that a potion? Yeah, he uses the potion. I thought he was mana prisming when he had more than half MP left. I was like, wait, what? But no, potion makes sense. This is a relatively scary hallway. It's by no means free, even with the wolf movement. If you touch the water, you're untransforming in a potentially very awkward spot. Speaking of awkward, we have the Beelzebub fight with, I mean, Marcel's great. Obviously, lingering hitbox, fire damage is great. But you do have to be careful So watch out for the flies coming at you. Power of Sire to help clear the flies as well. I like that. Honestly, I didn't see either player use any of their potions yet. You do spawn with a full stack of buffing potions, so might be worth just to save a little bit of time on some of these bosses, maybe, but...
Yeah, I always find it kind of hard to find a place to use those outside of like maybe the first boss I'm fighting. If I spawn next to like a Death or a Galamoth,
yeah,
and just Galamoth in general, anytime you get to him, the attack potion is always nice.
Yeah, if you my rule of thumb is if you spawn next to a boss, just use it now, get the levels under your belt. It's going to save you time significantly later on. Otherwise, just save it for Galamoth.
Yeah,
it's like the most efficient time to do it. And that might be what Alex is heading towards right now. Has to get Death out of the way here first, though. And Death a little bit awkward in this early phase where he's just kind of floating around, not really doing much. You want to do enough damage where he stands still. Then from here, yeah, you just swing at him and he'll just die eventually.
Do you know if like the way Death moves when you hit him is like deterministic in any way, or
it's based off of the?
Is it just like fully?
It's based off the positioning that you hit him from. So it's like a hitbox interaction where if the hitbox is primarily on his left side, it'll move him to the right. If it's primarily on the right side, it'll move him to the left. That sort of thing. You actually use that to your advantage in Glitchless, obviously, for keeping Death moving the correct direction so the swords stay inside of him, and as well as like the fastest possible way to kill him in all bosses, where you like hit him from a specific direction and then follow him with the Alucard shield inside of him. It can be finicky, though. There's definitely some moments where it doesn't. The thing that is inconsistent is the way that he floats at the very beginning of the fight. So, like, the little cycle that he's in where he can kind of choose to get closer to you or kind of, like, hover in the same spot for a little while. That's a little inconsistent.
Right.
But as far as the direction he goes when you hit him, that is consistent.
Yeah, because I find him a little slippery with just, like, a normal sword near the start of that fight until he stands still. But good to know at least there's some influence you've got.
Yeah, generally, the rule of thumb I have is you don't want to slash him from the tip of your sword. You want to get as close as you can before you start slashing, so you can try and follow him with the hitbox inside of him just ever so slightly longer. That makes your double hits more consistent. But even then, it's like, you know, he is slippery regardless. And also, you don't always get the luxury of getting all up close and personal if the scythes are following you around.
Yeah, those are random. Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
those are fully random.
Out of your control. Yeah.
Ooh, this is another spot that I recommend maybe using an attack potion if you don't have the means to stone Doppelganger 40. Since your damage is based off of like single hits and then waiting for the animation to play out, it just means that the lower your damage, the more punishing, the longer you're going to stay in that fight. So I think the attack potion oftentimes is worth.
Hype item checks from Alex right here, doing the ones down here. He probably wants a library card is what he's thinking right now.
Yeah, he's probably thinking like that's his ticket to continue the route divergence, continue to try and find an advantage somewhere that doesn't revolve around just moving faster, because like we said earlier, just moving faster than a literal world record holder is a tough call.
He's pre-equipping the attack potion before he saves. Love to see it.
Ooh, yeah, nice. There you go. That could save you a menu later. If you have to, you know, fight him again. And the Galamoth setup...
Hopefully you won't, but, you know.
When you don't have a Soul of Bat, it's a little bit more awkward. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, he gets it just fine. So, I mean, Galamoth's still going to take a while, don't get me wrong. Honestly, I opened the menu and put the strength potion on too. Just anything to speed up this fight. Dragon Helm also acquired now for Advent here.
I wonder if Alex put on the Dragon Helm. Did we see?
Oh, actually, yeah, good point. If he put on the attack potion but not the Dragon Helm, that's a little silly, but you know. Could be worse. At least you're buffing your damage a little bit.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's one of the things that's also a little bit awkward about choosing to do Galmoth early in an all bosses seed like this is you always have to worry about like, oh, what if my opponent does a different route, saves Galmoth for later, but they find like, I don't know, Chrysogram or Alucard Shield or something.
The Dragon Helm on. He got the felt hat.
Dude, I felt that. Unfortunate. So yeah, there's always the worry that like your opponent is going to be able to kill him faster and you lose a lot of time. Oh, meal ticket. Brutal. Insult to injury.
Yeah, that feels so bad.
And a familiar card. The entirety of the left side, I think, was completely barren outside of the ring, right? Yeah, it was just the silver ring.
Yeah.
And at this point, honestly, if Evan really wanted to, he might even be able to still go to creature and go to first castle.
Yeah.
Because that's outside of Galmoth now, Evan just has to do Galmoth, and that's a full clear besides creature. And creature obviously is super easy with the reverse library card, so
I mean, full clearing the second castle feels really nice because it just guarantees that you're not missing anything, because that's kind of the worst feeling in these seeds is when you do so much of second castle, you leave one behind and it ends up being something you need. But
there's
the
the
efficiency argument for the reverse library card might lead him to leave it behind anyway.
Yep. So, and we might have something like that come up here with that silver ring at creature, but like, I don't know. It depends on, again, what's at Holy Glasses. It would have to be not like something like Echo or Spikebreaker. It would have to be something that meaningfully locks progression. So, yeah, until we get to the first castle, we're not going to know. And even then, we're not going to know for a little while. I imagine...
Who knows when they're going to find the other ring?
Yeah. I imagine library card comes out for Advent here.
Probably. He's even doing a little bit more item checks down here.
I think he messed up his movement, and he's like, well, since I'm down here, might as well do those item checks. Unless he planned on doing those item checks with that movement. If so, that's also beast mode. If you're routing in efficient item checks this late into the... Because like I just skip those 99 out of 100 times. But if you are going to do item checks, you might as well route in the fastest ways to do them.
Yeah, I mean, with Wolf, bro, I'd be running past for sure if I already have library cards.
Yeah, Alex just never found that library card.
Advent remembers the Dragon Helm.
And the attack or strength potion.
Did we make note of the shield rod? There's a shield rod in Advent's inventory.
Yes, I did point that out a little bit earlier. He just doesn't have anything better. Oh, he uses the strength potion, but not the attack potion. If you're only going to use one, you should use the attack potion. It guarantees damage. Whereas strength potion, like your strength levels affect your attack levels, but it's not like a direct one-to-one. It's based off of like the weapon that you use versus attack, which is just pure damage. At least that's how I remember it working. I don't know. I only play this game for a living. Don't ask me how stats work.
Yeah, Alex is in first castle without miss.
Oh, well, you know, it's been real. It's been fun, y'all. Congratulate. That's really tough. There'd have to be a major incident or like Alex's plan. I mean, if his plan was to do a route that provides variance, it worked, just not in his favor, unfortunately.
Well, there's always the small chance that Mist just goes nowhere.
That too, yeah. Mist could just be bait, unlocking Echo. And again, the silver ring still could come up too. So it's technically not over, but missing out on library cards.
They're both going to be the same layer. And if they're required in any way, and it ends up being the one at Holy Glasses, it does create an advantageous situation for Alex. Yeah. But Alex is missing all the bright side.
Library cards,
of bosses?
Yeah, library cards are in the shop, but they're $15,000. So, it looks like Advent was able to buy one. He had enough money to buy one, and also I think 2 Vardas, so he must have found a diamond somewhere. But Power of Mist also found, so that's out of Logic Flight as well. Oh, disgusting. Although, who knows? Maybe Leapstone and Wolf, you could at least do the back card check with the double jump resets. That's pretty hype.
Yeah.
I don't know if Alex will go for it, but he could go for
I
it.
don't know if he'll go for any rises or out of logic. Oh, it looks like he's.
Oh, he has a thrust sword as well,
He's
actually.
Yeah, he's got a thrust sword.
Yeah, he has Flame Birch. Hold on. He's going for it. I don't know how well practiced or
It's
well versed
Echo
he
at
is.
Soul of Bat.
Oh, so it was bait, but doesn't really slow him
So-
down too much.
That's one of the two things that would need to be nothing if you're rooting for Alex here.
Ooh, Alex doesn't do the whole jump tech. Yeah, holding jump makes Wolf Rising free because it just slows down your descent. Versus if you don't hold jump, you have to be very precise with your transformation timing and your.
He is also untransforming very quickly. He's not getting the most height he could be getting out of the Wolf.
Yeah, one of the ways that you gain height from the Wolf Rise is the fact that every time you transform into Wolf, you like gain a bit of height. And then you're locked out from transforming again for a while. But finds Gold Ring. Hold on. But there is a case here where he has to be very careful because he could soft lock himself if he goes down there.
Oh yeah, please don't forget to save when you go down there.
Oh, that would be awful.
Honestly, maybe you shouldn't even go down there yet.
No, I don't think you check it.
Nothing
No.
would let you get out.
Theoretically, if it's Soul of Bat, because it's part of the complexity chain that you get Soul of Bat to then unlock.
You're right, yeah.
So you could save split it if you're gambling on the very rare chance that it's Bat. Otherwise, it gives you info, and you know you need to come back later if it's like a Vlad relic, or if it's nothing, you just save split it away and then don't think about it. So
I think I would look at it. In this scenario.
Oh, well, it's not going to
Well,
be Bat.
It's not bad.
Oh my god, that's so brutal.
But if I were in Alex's position, I could go down there and get it in Wolf Rise.
True. Think about it. Oh, Alex is doing the double jump resets. Let's go. At the very least, Alex is showcasing the cool tech in this game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's getting the efficiency out of the things he's got.
Yep.
He's able to do the alchemy lab checks without the traditional requirements.
Yep. And I mean, that is a pretty big advantage, generally speaking.
Uh-oh.
I mean, he has
Okay,
thrust
he got
swords,
it.
so he can always like back up the tech here, do a couple thrusts to get back to the ceiling. It is a little bit more awkward because if you touch the ceiling, you can't do the thrust attack because it does the weird like input lockout thing. But as for a Vlad relic, it's worth it. Granted, I mean, Advent's gonna grab that check in like 2 seconds, but you know, it was
Yeah.
cool.
There's really got to be something very needed in Holy Glasses, which, I mean, we've seen two things that technically aren't so far.
And he also
They could have been there.
And he also can't check it until he gets flight, like realistically. I mean, he can check
Yeah.
it, but he's not going to be able to keep it. Unless he
Yeah,
plans
unless
on...
he wants to Wolf Rise all the way out, which would be
at
tough.
that I think it would cost so much time that it's just not worth it.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely want to find your flight before you get there.
Yeah, and honestly,
Which,
at this point, the fact that Advent has everything he needs to move in this game except for gravity boots, he might be able to full clear first castle before like Alex even gets the chance to like take advantage of the potential like relic at like he'll full clear first castle, then do creature, then find the ring, and then come back and then do that check before Alex I think can catch up fully.
yeah, definitely a case for that.
It might be a situation,
Especially in an all bosses scenario.
yeah, this might end up being a situation where the only way back in this is Advent's going to need to get maybe a little bit greedy here, which he doesn't really seem to want to play that way, but he would need to skip.
I don't like what we're seeing here. He's saving at the Ouija table.
Oh.
I don't like that.
To be fair, like we said earlier, from his perspective, it could be bad. From his perspective,
from
he's
his-
thinking,
it
I
could
could
be
spike a
bad.
bat here, and this would be so clutch.
Yeah, I don't disagree with going to just see if it's bat when you're in this scenario. Like, I think that's fine. But from an outside perspective, this is tough.
Yeah, for those that are wondering, like, wait, can it be gravity boots? Well, technically, no, because both flight options, both other flight options have already been found for Advent, and those were both locked by flight itself. So for example, Mist and Power of Mist. Power of Mist was locked by Gravity Boots, or I guess, yeah, Gravity Boots. And Mist is in the second castle. And then Bat was at Fire of Bat. So that's a location that you need flight for. So we know that it cannot be Gravity Boots because the game will never force you to go to a location to get flight. Like there's escape requirement stuff going on here. And because Alex found one of the rings.
Holy symbol.
Yeah, because he found one of the rings in second castle, that means the game assumes you already have flight at this point. So it's not going to put flight there.
That's the worst case scenario because now it's so likely that he's going to have to go back for Mist.
Yep. Oof. Very, very brutal. And on top of that, I think the only things that are possibly left to bait Advent would be skipping like a merman statue that leads to progression, and then he decides to go second castle, assuming that progression is at no, but there's no progression left.
Yeah, there's no progression left. He would have to be in a scenario where he thinks the last flight is a creature somehow.
Yeah, or he's looking for merman statue still, or something, and that's at like holy, and that's vanilla. But then he's like, oh, I'm gonna check creature instead for some reason, and then he finds the silver ring, and then he goes and checks that, thinking that that's Final Vlad. But even then, most likely Final Vlad is at either Silver Ring or Spikebreaker. So like,
dude, the differences are compounding, bro. Alex has to go around for this check to do the boss because it's all bosses.
Yeah, it's like he didn't like pick wrong or anything. He just picked the unconventional route for sure. And theoretically, if the location, like if what was there was flipped, if left side had more advantageous stuff than right side, then Alex would be in the one that has a bit of a advantage early on. But
yeah, it's not wrong. It was just really bad for this seed.
Yes, and especially in this case where your thought process is, I want to change things up because I want to create variance against somebody who I know can outmaneuver me from the movement side of things. Seeing such few relics at this point, like 26 minutes in, and you're still looking for flight is kind of brutal.
Well,
meanwhile, your opponent has everything.
The world record holder guy has Bat on the other side.
Yeah. Obviously, Alex doesn't know that, but like, it's always a fear. There's always a bit of fear that like, oh, dude, like I'm doing all this dumb stuff, and it's like, yeah. I swear to God, if I go into the race call after and it's like, oh, I found Bat in the first 20 minutes. It's like, oh, dude, okay, yeah, GG's, I guess. Ooh, well, it's one less thing to bait Advent later on. Yeah, this is a seed that I think just very much benefits Advent's playstyle anyways, because he was committed to full clearing second castle, obviously outside of creature, because he found those library cards. Even if he didn't find those library cards, I imagine he even considers skipping creature there, or if he goes back and does creature later. Either way, his playstyle the seed is benefiting it, because by not skipping anything, he's being rewarded over and over and over again. Whereas Alex skipped half of the second castle. Obviously, he chose the wrong path at the start, which is just a 50-50 in a way. But then it's just been compounding afterwards because of that.
Yeah, the simpler, just do everything in order and you kind of just get what you need. The more it's like that, the more it's going to benefit Advent, because he's got the better movement, and especially when it's Bat this early.
Oh yeah.
That just really simplifies things as much as you can really ask for.
I will say as well, one of the things that Advent is also very good at, because it's a skill that is tested a lot in Glitchless, is not just movement, but like moving efficiently with the MP that you have. Obviously, starting second castle, he has 338 total HP. He's probably like level 40 something, but he is going to be taking a lot less pit stops than other players might have to, because he's able to space out his wing smashes longer. He's able to utilize other movement options like the dive, kick, bat, startup stuff. All of that is stuff that not everybody is fully comfortable with. Like, he spaced those wing smashes out in that one hallway there very, very well. I think a lot of players get... Oh, you can go.
it's like when you can intuit based upon like the movement you've been doing, how much you can get away with between your saves.
Yep.
So you can go kind of crazy with your wing smashes in certain sections and still be able to hit the next save with like 0 MP. Like that's the kind of skill that Evan's got.
Oh yeah. Like a lot of players, I feel like as soon as they get bat, they get a little antsy to use the movement as much as they can, and then they end up like draining their bar very, very quickly. Where I'm just looking at Advent's mana bar, and it's like almost exactly like a full second before he does each wing smash, and he's doing that all in between like maintaining height in specific scenarios and like weaving through different hallways. It just goes to show that his movement is very well practiced, which is no surprise, but still, it's worth pointing out because it is so damn good. And I mean, 3 Vlad relics, no glasses yet, but 3 Vlad relics and every movement option in the game except gravity boots. Nothing really stop. I mean, he just found Jewel of Open actually. So that's next step in the chain is going to the caverns.
The one thing that sucks a little bit is he did find it after he had to pass by Silver Ring, but I mean that's not that big a deal.
Yeah, at this point, if that's like the only like quote unquote awkwardness or inefficiency in his routing, like, oh man. That is one of those things where sometimes you don't realize how the seed went and you go into the race call after and it's like, yeah, my Silver Ring routing wasn't the best. Meanwhile, it's like you have everything you could possibly need.
The other guy has been sitting there with no flight for 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, man, that was a tough seed, dude. I had to backtrack for Silver Ring. Meanwhile, you're over here like, dude, I don't want to talk about what I did. Also, yeah, I'm trying to think here. Where is intended flight, actually? Because we know it has to be Leapstone Gravity Boots.
I mean, anywhere in caverns.
Oh, because
Alex is going to find it somewhere down here.
That makes sense.
It's going to be a Leapstone into Jewel situation.
Okay,
Leapstone, Jewel, Gravity Boots somewhere down here.
Boots. And then...
Which he's doing the bridge break and going down here, and if it's not... if it's ever a man, it's going to feel really bad.
Yeah, this is another very, very awkward situation.
Because, I mean, both of these are in logic with Leapstone, so, like, technically you're going towards 2 checks.
Yeah, you're going towards 2 checks this way. You're skipping Merman Statue, which is, like, only 1 check, and you can't even get back up the waterfall if it's not flight there. So it's like really
and
bad.
Thankfully it's here.
Okay. That stems the bleeding a little bit. Meanwhile, your opponent has 4 Vlads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welp. So he's opting to go towards the warp now. Okay, he has flight. He's like, I don't want to do any of this other crap in the caverns. I just want to do the flight checks. That's very fair.
Yep.
Starting with Alrox's quarters? No. Wait, does he not have the outer wall? He hasn't been to outer wall yet. Oh. Oh, no. I thought he was going to go outer wall, do Fire of Bat, do Castle Keep. Oh, no.
Instead, he will be doing wolf movement through this area until he gets to Fire of Bat. Who knows when he'll get to Fire of Bat, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, wolf movement's not bad. Now that he has flight, he can at least, like, do all the same checks.
Yeah. For the areas he's going through, it's not going to be so bad. And
Ooh, nice.
It will suck a little bit for Clock Tower, maybe, if he goes through there, which I assume he will.
Yeah, doing that jump through the hole leading to Alrox is by no means easy. It's a pretty tight window.
Yeah. That is even better if you can get through it while still retaining the power of wolf speed.
Oh yeah, the entire time.
That's the problem I always have, because I usually will get through, but I always lose the speed and I gotta rerun a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, gets Merman Statue. That maybe that will probably delay him from that might delay him from doing the rest of the checks. He might go back down to the caverns now.
He might. It is Holy Glasses, which now Avon has, and
I mean, it's just go mode for him. He just has to do the rest of the bosses and then he's done. Because he'll find the last Vlad at some point along the way. Because, I mean, from our perspective, we've seen all of the possible locations, except for Merman Statue, I guess. Merman Statue could bait him. Silver Ring? We haven't seen Silver Ring yet, but that's probably just Final Vlad, actually, now that I think about it.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I don't think that the Bat plus Echo would go anywhere. Echo was... Where was Echo? Oh, no, it could be, because Echo was at Soul of Bat.
Oh, yeah. No, so then it is just Spikebreaker. You're right. Yeah, and Crazy's already 10 steps ahead of us. Yeah, Echo is at Bat. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, it's over. Oh, man. Oh, just kidding. He's double checking to make sure he didn't forget something. To be fair, he's worried about getting baited by... No, because he already has Spikebreaker, actually. And he already has Echo. There's no more bait left on the table. So even if he goes out of his way to try and find the silver ring that he's missing, that doesn't help him? And he should theoretically know this. However, he is 35 minutes into a seed, second race into the match. Technically, his third race, because we did do that warm-up race. So, I'll forgive him for not fully reading the seed. No, pick it up! You already got Echo! Wait, go back!
I wonder what Vlad... Because, in this scenario, you're definitely looking for Final. Unless you're not looking for Final, and somehow he thinks he's already found it.
That would be... weird?
But I don't know what he could have... which Vlad he could have seen and thought.
You know what it could be? It could just be... rando brain rot, and he's like, I'm just gonna check everything just to be safe. And
being that guy and just being like, I'm just gonna do everything and I'm just gonna do it faster. I mean, that's fair.
And in this scenario, it would work, and it will work.
It would work, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Alex is doing the thing. Yeah, he went back to the warp, and now he's backtracking to do Merman Statue. And again, if it wasn't for the fact that Bat is flight locked, and even that, and Mist is in the second. In a weird way, this is the correct decision. It just feels so bad.
Yeah. With the knowledge we have, it feels so bad.
It does.
But for him, not a bad decision.
No, by no means. No means a bad decision. It's just. I mean, as far as bosses goes, he's not he is actually. I was gonna say too far behind. He's kind of behind. It's kind of a lot behind.
Yeah, because he left half the second castle when he came back.
This just wasn't Alex's seed. I mean, it just from the very start of the race, deciding to go left side instead of right side of second castle. Just everything from there was the dominoes, just fell where they fell.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate series of knock-on effects as a result of the difference in second castle. And
I mean, a lot of the thought process also is if he decided to go right side, the more conventional decision, the idea is if he's trying to have some variance, if he thinks he can't win on the movement race, so he's going to try and provide some variance. If he decided to go right, he also probably isn't winning this. At least that's true. The thought behind it. But who knows? Maybe there's a world where all of a sudden he takes his vitamins and does the correct hand stretches and he has perfect movement. Maybe there's a world, or maybe you just kind of bank on you take the quote unquote correct route, but you bank on your opponent making a mistake somewhere. And theoretically, Advent did make a mistake by going to Merman Statue. So if you're able to read the seed properly at that point, you could have maybe used that to your advantage a little bit, but it's a tough call for sure. Tough call. And
there it is.
Final Vlad, nothing stopping you now, just library card, break the shaft orb, immediately reverse library card, and GG's. Yeah, I mean, left side is a tough sell, especially when you start with wolf movement too. Just from an efficiency standpoint, it is a tough sell. I understand the idea of trying to create variance, but I don't know. That's obviously not the playstyle that I would go with, but I also have the benefit of having like 10,000 hours playing this game as far as movement goes. So I don't have to. I get to rely on that advantage.
It's tough to put yourself in the mindset of
Someone who feels like they're behind on movement.
Yeah, when you are, so content just being like, I'll just do it faster.
Yeah. To be fair, back in the day, that's all that mattered. In a weird way. Routing decisions were very few and far between to come by.
Yeah, y'all did kind of standardize which way y'all were going a little bit.
There was honestly, now that I look back on it, there was a little bit of a weird, wait, why would you do that route? That's just wrong. And meanwhile, we couldn't comprehend the idea of trying to create variants for the sake of doing it. To be fair, I will say one person who was very on the pulse of the meta before it even became meta for Rando was Rom Scout, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Rom Scout, the first, because he played the Rando quite a bit when it first came out, and he immediately realized, Second Castle is just a casino. And meanwhile, me and Talek are like, no, you just always do the most efficient route every time, and it works out. And Rom Scout's like, no, you don't understand. It's just a casino. Years later, I'm like, okay, now I understand.
Y'all went to the right side being the most efficient? Was that the...
The thought process is if you're missing 1 or 2 Vlads, the higher density is on the right side. Therefore, if you find the Vlad there, you can just beat the game immediately.
Gotcha.
So the idea is that you want to prioritize finishing the seed as soon as possible. Therefore, you want to prioritize the fastest checks as soon as you get to the second castle, because statistically it means that you will find the Vlad earlier than your opponent. But yeah, it turns out that's a very flawed way of looking at it, because statistically, yes, you want to perform density, but also if you just want to guess correctly and win, if anything, we just delayed the gambler's mindset by a year or two.
Yeah, I guess it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah. To be fair, old man telling war stories. In the first Rando tournament, which took 9 months to complete, it was ridiculous. It was like a 26-person double elimination bracket. It was ridiculous. It took so long. But one of the early matches that I had, I was fully aware that the only way I lose is if I do the standard second castle route and creature has a Vlad relic. So I intentionally save split after killing Darkwing Bat to check creature, and he had a Vlad relic, and then I just warped back or something like that. I forget what the plan was afterwards, but back then that was the most crazy thing.
That's absurd.
And the reason I did it is because I knew my opponent was going to go creature first. He kind of was that's my only way to win, so I'm going to do it, basically.
Yeah.
Or he didn't even say it. It was more I intuited that was his win condition at the time, and I just gambled on it. Also, does not feel good to get bat 42 minutes in. Meanwhile, your opponent is at the clock room.
Yeah, he's going to get bat, play for a couple minutes, and then Evan's going to call time.
Ay. Look, when you always say if X person just went left side, they would have won based on that, how often? Yeah, I think at the time we were just also not very great at doing real analysis of risk analysis on these things. I did a half measure by save splitting in the first place, but it turns out my opponent did go immediately to creature, and the race was very close because of it. So
yeah, I mean, if the dominant route is everybody's going right side, and the players playing against you are going to go creature just to be well.
Yeah,
he's better than me. I'm gonna go to creature. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, and he doesn't even need to use the shield rod tech the way that he. Bro literally has glitchless world record and gets to use glitchless strats on final boss. Whatever, it's fine. He didn't even need to do that because he has a double Varda, but I think it's double Varda. At least he has at least one Varda.
How fast is Iron Shield gonna kill here then?
My guess is, I'm doing the math in my head, 4 or 5 casts. My guess is 4. Oh, he's doing it kind of early here. He's going to miss out on some damage.
How much is it normally? How many casts?
I think it's 5 or 6, depending on your strength and how many crits you get. Oh my god, he did it in 3? Ooh.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. That's brutal. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I think you took a much better route than I did.
Alrighty, GG's. We'll head up in there and talk him through it. But yeah, that was fun to watch. I enjoyed that. Yo, GG's.
GG.
Jeez.
Honestly, that that was a very, very good route for Advent. Things just kind of were where they needed to be for you to get a very large advantage out of it. But
Thank goodness.
sometimes, it works out, especially at the very start of the second castle like that. Your choices are go left or go right. You definitely picked the better option.
You picked go right, I assume?
Oh, yeah.
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 Speaking of, I wanted to ask what kind of was the reason that you said I'll go through to through Clock Tower into Outer Wall and all that at the start of the seed, Alex? I'm curious.
Clock Tower to Outer Wall?
No, yeah, like at
In
the very
second
start.
castle, when
yeah,
you
second
went
castle.
left
in
immediately.
second castle.
At the very start of the seed. Sorry, I
Uh,
could have worded that better.
I was kind of trying to decide whether I wanted to go right or left, and I figured if I went left, it gave me a couple of extra item checks that if he went right, I'd have a chance to get a library card, basically.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of just betting on something on the left side getting me that library card with either the extra couple of enemies or a couple of the item checks.
Interesting. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Wait till you hear this.
Well, there was a library card.
Yorick.
Yeah, Yorick
Oh.
dropped one. So
I killed Yorick twice and he didn't give me one.
really, oh, that's brutal.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Damn.
Yeah,
But
the first library card I saw was at the librarian.
Oh, yeah, because that definitely changes. I imagine you see a library card that early, you decide not to go left because it's like, why would you do that when you could just reverse library card?
Yeah.
Rough stuff for sure. But I mean, there was one scenario where you were still kind of in it because you decided to go creature and because Advent decided to delay creature. Him having the silver ring meant that there was a chance for things to get a little bit wacky. And then we
Yeah,
saw
the
you save
silver ring
split to
was
check it.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't have flight, so I had no way to get out I had no good way to get out if it was nothing.
Yep. Yeah, and from our perspective, we had already seen both Mist and Power of Mist were like flight locked, and Bat was also flight locked. So we knew it couldn't be gravity boots there. So it was pretty rough. I think we were in the middle of discussing like the only thing it could be that would help you there is either Final Vlad or Soul of Bat. And as we said that, I think Advent found Soul of Bat. So
Yeah, the words were, I said, I probably would look at it, and then Advent went into the fire bat room, and Bat was sitting there.
yeah.
I kind of put off the right side of Castle 1 until really late.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think I
'cause-
got Solo Bad at like 40 minutes.
Yeah. By the time you grab Soul of Bat, I think Advent was literally in like at the clock room, like waiting for the clock statue to move or waiting for the clock mechanism to move to fight Shaft and Dracula or something.
Rough.
Very rough. I think just the layout of where the relics happen to be just very much made your route just not nearly as good as it could have been. A couple of things
Yeah.
moved around, especially I think because you decided to do only part of the second castle and it happening to be the left side of the second castle. If a few relics are moved over on that side instead of the right side, then there's more of a chance there. But it's brutal. But that's randomizer sometimes.
Yep. Especially with the second castle start. I took the gamble that right side was not going to have anything except for random Vlads.
That too. That's another reason to do left side over right side. Is just it makes your routing back in the second castle maybe a little bit more smooth. You kill bosses and move towards the end of the game, but
Yeah, I was kind of... The other hope was just... If I do left side and right side has all random Vlads, then I'm just incidentally doing everything I need to do on my way to finish the game.
yeah.
But
Very fair, analysis there. But regardless, GG's. It was a fun set to watch. Thank you for being a part of the tournament. I very much appreciate that.
sure thing.
Hope you had fun. So that means, as far as the bracket goes, we have Advent versus Crazy Four Blades as the next match on the loser side, and we still have the conclusion between Durdrak and Ren on winner's side left. So yeah, we're whittling down to the finals here soon. So that's exciting.
Let's get this scheduled right now. When are we doing this Advent?
Right now.
I mean, if I lost to Alex after he's an hour late, like I just quit Randomizer forever, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I checked the alchemy lab in the first. That was pretty sure that was just pointless, right?
I think at that point, yeah, we were kind of getting the vibe that you were just being very cautious with your relic checks. Just wanted to double check to make sure that you weren't like miscounting complexity or leaving anything behind. I think even the merman statue check this seed, you theoretically could have realized that it had to be junk. But that's a difficult call to make, especially given the circumstances. So I wouldn't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
Especially the first seed. They go into Alchemy Lab after the whole situation where like Wolf and Ring are the same layer and then they both lead to nothing. Like, dude, you can't make no decisions after that happens to you.
Yeah, finding two things that are so likely to be progression just for it to be at like Grand Falloon is so ridiculous. Like that's such a rare scenario.
Wasn't Holy Glasses at Holy? Oh yeah, the Merman is. Yeah, that was. Could have been like random complexity in second castle, but was there any Vlads in second castle? I don't. I'm just. I
In the
don't even
first
remember.
seed?
In the second seed.
Oh, in this seed, was there? Actually, I cannot remember for the life
Dude,
of
this is
me.
the kind of thing-
Everything
I
was
can't
Castle
remember
1.
Yeah,
Everything
I
was
didn't think
Castle
so.
1.
So I was kind of like, where's the? Is it? I don't know. I don't.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, it had to be.
Yeah, because Final Vlad was at Silver Ring, and Spikebreaker had one. There was one Vlad at Alchemy Lab. I forget where, but somewhere in there.
But yeah, very, very interesting seeds for sure. But yeah, thank you guys for being a part of it and being here today. We'll make sure to schedule more tournament stuff in the future. And again, thank you, Alex, for being a part of this. I appreciate it. Hope you have a
Sure
great
thing.
rest of your day.
You as well.
Take it easy, everybody.
GG.
Later.
Good
GGs.
night.
Yep.
Alrighty, chat. Thank you so much for being here for this tournament match. I tried to delay the ads as much as I could. Sorry if you're watching ads right now. But yeah, that concludes our tournament match. I'm going to update the tournament standings here as well. We're going to make sure to schedule those matches soon, so you'll know soon when those next few tournament matches are happening. If you want to catch them live, make sure to join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps out a lot, especially with all the time and effort and money that goes into organizing these sorts of things. I always appreciate it. Any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Take it easy. Bye-bye.